Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Sitting in for Pinky Webb, I'm Ria Tanwat Cotrillo. Today on the program, Metro Manila mayors have set guidelines for travel under Alert Level 3. And from Undas to Christmas, how are we preparing for the holidays amid the threat of another COVID-19 surge? MMDA Chairman Benhur Abalos joins us live. And a former health secretary questions the vaccination of minors in hospitals. Former health secretary and Iloilo representative Janet Garin tells us more live. Metro Manila mayors agree to limit the mobility of people below 18 and above 65 years old as the region shifts to Alert Level 3. Under the IATF guidelines, minors and those above 65 years old are allowed to come out of their residences, but mayors want to limit their movement to essential activities. Also, what preparations are in place ahead of the holidays? Let's go straight to the source of the story, MMDA Chairman Benhur Abalos. So, Chairman Abalos, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, Ria, good morning. And to the viewers, good morning.
Okay, sir, let's clarify the guidelines. If you're below 18 or you're above 65 years old, you can travel now within Metro Manila, yes?
Well, yes. Just let me cite the guidelines verbatim. No? These are the guidelines provided for under IATF, particularly Section 4, Article 1. It states that those below 18, meaning minors, and those belonging to the vulnerable population, including, of course, that's including senior citizens, shall be allowed access to obtain essential goods and services. That's number one, Ria. Or number two, for work in permitted industries and offices. That's number two. And number three is individual outdoor exercises shall also be allowed for all ages, regardless of comorbidities or vaccination status. And the third is intrazonal and interzonal travel shall be allowed subject to reasonable restrictions based on age and comorbidities as may be determined by the LGUs. So it is only with reference to the intrazonal and interzonal travel that LGUs are allowed by the IATF to determine restrictions.
All right, so just within those particular zones. Now, you mentioned, sir, they can only go out for essential activities. So does this mean that they're not allowed to go out to malls or eat at restaurants?
Well, okay, if we're going to look at this, number one, essential goods and services or to work. Now, probably if minors, if you're going to a dentist or probably a clinic, and that clinic is within the mall, you might probably be allowed. Now, as far as going out is concerned, parks, etc., that would be under individual outdoor exercises.
All right, but if it's to go, let's say, window shopping or eating in a restaurant, hindi po pwede yon.
I don't think it's allowed, Ria. Yeah.
All right, so
Kaya that's what I did. I really read this verbatim. No? Mahirap ma-misquote dito. This is a very sensitive issue right now. Yeah.
Yes, understandably. Now, you mentioned exercise and visiting outdoor places and parks. Of course, that would also have to be done with some level of caution. Are there any guidelines for that? If not, what are you suggesting to the public that they can do this in a way that is safe?
Well, as far as the travel are concerned, there are several restrictions set by the local government units. This is for intrazonal and interzonal travel. According to the Metro Manila resolution, that the minors should always be accompanied by parents or an adult guardian. No, regardless if the parents or the adult guardian are vaccinated or not.
All right, so kailangan may kasama palagi, whatever happens, wherever they go.
Yes, because we recognize the fact that, for example, some of those are coming from the provinces, no, sa probinsya or sa karating pook, no, na hindi pa napababakunahan, and they're going to Manila for these travels, let's say for public, jeepneys, tricycles, buses. So the mayors recognize that. That's why they've allowed parents or adult guardians to be companions of the at all times by the minors.
Okay, sir, what would happen if ever there is a minor who is outside of their residence or they're traveling or in a public place and they do not have any parent or guardian accompanying them? What happens?
Well, they will be accosted, and probably the authorities will bring them back to their homes. Their parents will be alerted, and they will be accompanied by either the police or the barangay, so that they will be brought home.
All right, so really not advisable for them to be roaming around without their guardians or their parents or another authorized adult, no? Sir, can you talk to us a little bit about interzonal travel, right? So if you're in alert level 3, you can travel to another place that's also alert level 3, like from Manila to Laguna or Batangas, for example?
Okay, if it's within Metro Manila, it's not a problem. But if you're going to another province or another region or another place outside of Metro Manila, I strongly suggest that you coordinate with the policies of that place, because they might have certain requirements. No, mahirap na eh. Baka mamaya nandun ka na tsaka kapahingan, like certain requirements, tapos magkaano pa. That is what we strongly urge. No, when you travel, walang problema sa Metro Manila as long as you're with guardians, an adult guardian or parents. But the problem is, once you are in that place, it's better to coordinate and get the requirements.
Okay, so kailangan talaga mag-research if you're going to a particular place or province. You need to know the local guidelines there, no?
Yes, yeah, yes.
All right. Sir, what is your assessment of Metro Manila being under alert level 3 so far? What have you observed? Can it be called a success?
Well, number one, no, for one, talagang ang tao, parang matagal nakakulong. Parang if you go out, there's a long queue in restaurants, even in vehicle volumes. No, it's surprising. Ria, during pre-pandemic time, I've had a vehicle count. This was taken July 8, 2019. The vehicle volume at EDSA is 405,882. And I had a vehicle count last October 7, a week ago. It's 390,238. So it's just a difference of 15,000. No? Kaya medyo marami talagang tao. But the good news is, before in EDSA, the travel speed was 11 kilometers per hour. But right now, it's 23.43 kilometers per hour. This is Monumento to Rojas Boulevard. No? So, makikita natin talagang maraming tao, even in the malls, no, along queue. But one thing is noticeable, no. As far as capacity is concerned, I believe it's being implemented properly. The restaurants are really, I would say, self-policing their ranks. That's very important. Dahil sa totoo lang, it's DTI, the local government units, kukunti ang tao natin eh. Kaya importante ito talaga ang self-discipline for everyone to self-police eh. Kasi pinakamahirap mangyari ngayon is magkaroon tayo ng bagong infection. That's the hardest, and we're nearing Christmas. We welcome this. We've been to alert level 3, mas maraming mobility, but please let us not be complacent here. No, kailangan pa rin ang minimum health protocols and of course self-discipline.
Absolutely. You know, sir, we're looking on our screens right now at the Dolomite Beach over the weekend. So many people went there. And, you know, we're not used to seeing crowds of people here anymore, considering we've been under lockdown for so long. Pero ayan po, sa Dolomite Beach talagang ang daming pumunta over the weekend. What was your reaction to that, seeing those pictures of throngs of people?
Well, nakakabigla. It could be a super spreader event at that, no? Kaya nga, ang sabi ko nga sa iyo, the first, when we really went down to alert level 3, talagang ang tao parang nakawala, talagang nag-queue, no? But again, I'm appealing that we should really practice discipline. As far as Dolomite is concerned, we're helping DNR, no? Nakipag-coordinate po office namin. Nagpadala na ako ng mga staff, ng mga personnel to help the DNR because it's under their jurisdiction, no? Itong Dolomite Beach. Well, it's not only about Dolomite, but the beaches alone, but other places, no? Especially while eating, Ria, no? Napaka-vulnerable natin dyan. Right now, tumaas na. Al fresco, it's at 50%. Indoor, it's 30% plus 1. But remember, no? Alam natin, bawal ang mga bata pa naman dito. That is our most vulnerable when we eat because we do not have any mask. No? Kaya importante talaga rito ang distance. Napaka-importante nito.
That's right. Sir, earlier you were talking about traffic levels and traffic volume. The roads really are busier and you're feeling the traffic once again. Is it time to bring back the number coding scheme? Is that something that your office is considering?
Well, right now, I've cited to you the speed level, the travel speed. It's better now at 23 kilometers per hour than before, which was just 11. No? Actually, Ria, we've not only made traffic count, but our public system right now, it's not just normal. No? Sa buses, sa bus carousel, it's being managed by DOTR. Medyo mahaba pa ang queue. But we must always remember this. Most of our kababayans have only one car, one vehicle. If we're going to implement the number coding, they will be forced once a week to just take the public transport. And they will just add to the long queue at the bus carousel. No? So para sana maiwasan na rin ang mga infection. And our vehicle is our own bubble. It's something that we're safe. Ngayon, kung ilalagay namin itong number coding, we will be now forced to, alam mo na, you will share it with your office workers, etc. So, lalaki ang risk mo rito. However, aside from that, manageable pa naman ang ating traffic. As long as it is spread out, it's only at peak levels na medyo nagkakaroon tayo ng konting traffic. That is why, Ria, as early as now, we have already set guidelines in preparation for Christmas. And allow me to state this, no? We've talked, we're going to discuss things with the malls. If it's possible for Christmas shopping, that their mall hours right now, it's about 10 o'clock, they open at 10 and they close at about 8 or 9. If it's possible, if they adjust it, instead of 10, they move it to 11 to about midnight, to even 10, 11, or even 12, no? That's number one, adjustment of the mall hours. Number two is for the sales. Please do not have any sales on weekdays. We will be requesting them to have sales instead on Saturdays, Sundays, on weekends, or even on holidays. And third, we will be asking them to have night deliveries. No? And of course, aside from that, I've already made notices that there will be no diggings in EDSA, except for the national programs of Build, and for emergency repairs. It will be middle of November up to about January 3.
Right, okay. The numbers are looking very encouraging. New cases seem to be going down every day. It's something that everybody hopes will be sustained. Do you see Metro Manila going down to alert level 2 by November? And what are the metrics that you would consider in order for that to happen?
Well, in order for that to happen, there are certain metrics that the DOH is following. No? By the way, let me remind everyone that Metro Manila is still on pilot. Everything that we're doing right now, IATF is trying to fine-tune because this will be duplicated all over the country. And if there's one agency who determines if we're going to go down to alert level number 2, it is solely the Department of Health who has that power and authority.
All right, sir. You talked about Christmas. Tell us a little more about how we are preparing for holiday activities, especially for the upcoming Undas.
Well, for the Undas, the Metro Manila Council had this resolution, and I think it was also adopted by IATF nationwide. No, so the Metro Manila mayors deemed it that on October 29, 30, 31, 1 and 2. To close cemeteries. Why? So that we will not converge on just 1 day or 2 days. Because, let's say, November 1 or October 31, going to the cemetery because it will just be a super spreader event. So instead, they chose to close the cemetery just like last year so that people will go to the cemetery as early as probably today or tomorrow so that it will all be spread out. That's the secret. It has been done before, and we're going to do this again this year.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for sharing so much important information with us. That was MMDA Chairman Benhur Abalos. The government rolls out its vaccination of minors, but a former health chief questions why are these being done in hospitals. Congresswoman Janet Garin joins us live after the break, so please stay tuned.